Another broken plate, another called off date. We never seem to get it right. Another heart attack, words that we can't take back. We are the reason opposites attract. Once you slam the door on the second floor, I regret it all. When I think it through, I can't help the way I feel for you. You make me lose my mind like all the time. It still feels right. Stuck in an endless fight like every night. It still feels right. Even the words can't sing, I wouldn't change a thing. 'Cause without you everything means nothing. You make me lose my mind like all the time. It still feels right. Sitting by the phone, hoping you'll answer yours. Baby, let's talk until we're fine. You've been in bed for days, empty without me, you say. Can't you just magically turn up in mine? Then you knock on my door on the second floor, and I feel okay. We just made it through, and I love the way I feel for you. Baby, you make me lose my mind like all the time. It still feels right. Stuck in an endless fight like every night. It still feels right. Even the words can't sing, I wouldn't change a thing. 'Cause without you everything means nothing. You make me lose my mind like all the time. It still feels right. Oh yeah, still feels right. 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 Oh yeah. We never get it right, but somehow it feels right. We never get it right, but it still feels right. We never get it right, but somehow it feels right. That's how I feel about you. You make me lose my mind like all the time. It still feels right. Stuck in an endless fight like every night. It still feels right. Even the words can't sing, I wouldn't change a thing. 'Cause without you everything means nothing. You make me lose my mind like all the time. It still feels right. Oh yeah, still feels right. 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 Oh
I know that I should keep it cool, babe. Not lose my swag and play the fool, babe. Just play the game and hold on, maybe. But I'm done with the waiting, done with the waiting. I'm done with playing nice. Now look me in the eyes. Tell me, tell me, tell me what you see inside. Not gonna ask you twice. Not looking for your lies. Tell me, do you wanna go? Oh, 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 oh.
You know that I'ma keep it cool. With you I feel like breaking rules. On the edge, looking out with no parachute. You know I'm dreaming about us two, playing around without a clue. On the edge, leaning out. With us it's all or nothing. Ooh, but guess I need more of you. With us it's all or nothing, but guess I need more of you. You say it during night, but in the morning you're just sleep. With us it's all or nothing. Ooh, but guess I need more of you. With us it's all or nothing, but guess I need more of you. You say it during night, but in the morning you're just sleep. I had to convince my friends this time. Think you're toxic to my mind, but I know they don't know what you're all about. The way you hold my body tight, staying up talking through the night. Yeah, I know they just don't. With us it's all or nothing. Ooh, but guess I need more of you. With us it's all or nothing, but guess I need more of you. You say it during night, but in the morning you just sleep. I need more of. With us it's all or nothing. Ooh, but guess I need more of you. Why don't you stay? Why don't we talk about this? Why don't you stay? Why don't we talk about this? With us it's all or nothing. Ooh, but guess I need more of you. With us it's all or nothing, but guess I need more of you. You say it during night, but in the morning you just sleep. With us it's all or nothing. With us it's all or nothing. Ooh, but guess I need more of you. With us it's all or nothing, but guess I need more of you. You say it during night, but in the morning you just sleep. With us it's all or nothing.
Don't need your pity, don't need anything from you. You made me someone I'm not. You made me realize what I got. Don't want your sympathy, your eyes so full of tears. I got my friends who got my back, so don't pretend you're all I have. You can't come crawling back here no more. First you love me, then leave me, then say you're lost without me. I found myself without you, I'm sure. Look at me now, I survived, so don't you worry about me. 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 Ooh, baby, don't need you to love me, so you shouldn't worry. Hey, baby, I got all that I need, so don't you worry about me. I'm living it up, I'm taking it high, yeah, I'm living it up. Without you, ooh, baby, I got all that I need, so don't you worry about me. Come get your clothes and all the stuff you left behind. Don't want it lying all around, don't want a thing here to remind me of your presence, cause I'm much better without. No need for memories at all, I'm done erasing you, my love. You can't come crawling back here no more. First you love me, then leave me, then say you're lost without me. I found myself without you, I'm sure. Look at me now, I survive, so don't you worry about me. Ooh, baby, don't need you to love me, so you shouldn't worry. Hey, baby, I got all that I need, so don't you worry about me. I'm living it up, I'm taking it high, yeah, I'm living it up without you. Ooh, baby, I got all that I need, so don't you worry about me.
Oh, I turned the music down too early, didn't I? Dang it. Turned the music down too early. Okay, the lighting is off. The lighting's way off, actually, because I'm trying to set up my new light. So, behind the scenes, now I can go there. Did you guys notice that I totally had to start the timer over again? And that is because my silly butt went to the wrong scene and then I had to start the timer over again. So, okay, I'm trying to set up my new light. I got the Elgato Keylight Air. So I'm trying to set that up. And so right now it's super, super, it's like really bright right now. So it's just tricky. It's taking a while. I'm trying to use the app. So that's what we got going on right now. So what's going on, you guys? How are we? I feel like it's been forever since I saw you guys. But all right, it's not working. I will tell you that that's frustrating. Maybe it's because I don't know why. But I guess we'll just figure this out. I thought I was going to be able to do this with you guys today. Lighting is a battle. Yeah, right? Okay, let me try one more time. So I'm trying to connect to the actual light with my phone. And what happens is it has like its own little Wi-Fi built in. And I'm trying to use the control. I was trying to download the control center on my actual computer, which I'll try that one more time. Hopefully it doesn't go crazy and screw up my, let me try one more time here. Next, accept the terms. Yes. Next, install. Yes. Okay, there it goes. It's actually working this time. Okay, so no accessories found. Oh, that was quick. That was way fast. Oh, where'd it go? It just went away. Hold on. Elgato. Where'd you go, my friend? Where'd you go, control center? Dang it. I just had it. Hold on. There we go. Oh, you can't move it. Well, that's a bummer. Hold on. Okay, so we're going to make adjustments to this light. Maybe. Oh, man. This could be a little bit more user intuitive. Seriously? Oh, my Lord. Hey, Billy. How's it going? By the way, hello, Shayna. Hello, Cynthia. Hello, everybody. All right, we're going to give it a try here. Let's see. We can change the temperature. Ooh, it's really warm. Or if we can go really cool. The cool color is definitely better. We can go with way bright. Ah! And then we can go not so bright. I'm kind of liking it right in there, maybe. Okay. What I don't love is that on my app, or in here in my computer, it is... question. Laura, post that in our group if you don't mind. Post that in the group instead, please. Thank you. Okay, let me see here. So you guys can't see what I'm doing. I'm trying to find this dang control center again. I'm not very pleased with that. I have to, there we go. I have to add this to my Stream Deck. So the Stream Deck, which is this thing right here, right? I showed you guys this. You can add controls for your lighting to the Stream Deck too, which I'll eventually do because it's all made by Elgato. It's an Elgato product. So I'll be doing that. But right now, let's see. So what I've done is, so it's really bright over here. So it's kind of like hot. See how it's a little bright over here. So I moved the Let me try to do this without going crazy here. All right, you guys are about to see major behind the scenes. All right, Brio. All right, so that is the ring light that I moved over into the corner a little bit more, and there's the new Elgato Keylight Air. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back there. I'm going to turn that down a hair because it's a bit hot right now. I will tell you guys that I went today to buy this light. I was there at Best Buy the other day, and they had like 3 of them. I went today, and they only had 1. I was going to buy 2, so I have to order the second one. I'm going to get rid of the ring light. I'm going to just have the 2 Keylight Airs. So that's what I'm going to do. So everybody's like, Ariana, Pokegal's like, I suck at lighting. Yeah, lighting's tricky. You know what I'm saying? But let me just go back. Whoa, I like turned it off. Okay, so yeah, that's way bright. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go back there. I'm gonna turn down the ring light, which is coming on this side of my face. So do you see how it's a bit on the bright side? Hold on. It's a little bit better, right? A little bit better. Still looks a little hot. It could also be my ISO. I can turn the ISO down just a hair. Oh man, my hair is like all over the place. Okay, yeah, I like it. Okay, so we're just playing around with it. I would love to see more. There's just like so many different features I think that I can play around with this thing. So I'm pretty excited that I got this light. They're very popular. They're very, I mean, that is like low. That is on a low brightness. And it is doing a great job, but it's a soft light. It's not a specular light, so it's not going to create the hot spots that the ring lights do sometimes. But again, I'm planning to get another one and have both of them. So I'll show it to you guys again, and then we'll get into some questions. So that is the light. I put it together like literally right before I started streaming today. So it's really small, and it does mount to the back. There's a little platform that it mounts with, and it sits on the desk. You can buy clamps that you can replace the bottom. They clamp on the back of your desk. So they're a low profile. But the reason I want these lights is because they are on my desk. And so when I raise up and down, like I'm standing right now, but I sometimes do stuff while I'm sitting. I go back and forth between it. I want to be able to not have to worry about making adjustments. I want everything to be stable and set. And I want it to stay that way. And so that's why one of the reasons I wanted these lights. So are you guys ready? Oh my gosh, I'm dropping stuff. Are you guys ready to get into some Q&A? The other thing that was crazy is you guys want to see the instructions that came with it? Like it came with not an instruction booklet, but an instruction poster board. So like legit instruction poster board. I've never seen that before. That's new to me. So there you go. Okay, so let's jump in. Great question, Cynthia, about the direction of my light. I will get to that. I saw that Ariana had a question once again about OBS. Hey, just so you guys know, so tomorrow we're featuring a question that Ariana's been asking on the StreamYard profiles. So if you're not already following StreamYard, make sure you're checking StreamYard out. And as many of you know, we are multi-streaming with StreamYard right now. So my Tuesday streams are brought to you by StreamYard. They are powered by StreamYard. I love the application. It lets you do lots of stuff. So Ariana, she says, if I use OBS with StreamYard, key phrase, if I use OBS with StreamYard, should I still pay for the 1080p plan on StreamYard since OBS has 1080p in their program? It won't matter, because if you're streaming with StreamYard, you could use 4K. You could use a 4K camera, and the application is only going to push out whatever signal it's capable of. And so Ariana's streaming to YouTube where 1080p is available to streamers. But if you don't pay for the professional plan on StreamYard, you will be maxed out at 720, regardless of what you're using. So if you are still wanting to use StreamYard to stream and to multi-stream and whatnot, you would need to pay for the professional plan in order to get that 1080p signal. Now, if this, the professional plan is $50 a month when you pay month to month, if that's out of your budget, then just go down to the $25 a month plan, because a lot of users don't even watch things in 1080p. In fact, if they don't have strong internet, they aren't going to see 1080p anyway. When people are on their phones, a lot of times it will default to the highest quality because that's just the way it works when we watch on mobile. And a lot of people do watch on mobile. But if they're watching on a computer, usually you have to click on the little gearbox and say, I want to watch in high definition. And it does take a stronger internet bandwidth and all that. But Ariana, if you still want 1080p on your YouTube channel, you will have to pay for that $50 a month plan for it. So OBS, if you wanted to get rid of StreamYard altogether and just use OBS and stream with OBS, then you could do that and you would get that higher signal, but you wouldn't have the ability to see the comments on your dashboard and display them like I am here. And of course, use all the other StreamYard features. So definitely a few things to think about for sure. And Shayna says, they were having a conversation, Ecamm is for Mac, OBS is for PC. I'm still learning too. Yeah, I actually think, I want to say OBS works on Macs. I think OBS works on Macs too. I'm not sure. I have to look that up. But yes, so Ecamm is Mac only. And that is another platform you can use to do some awesome fun stuff. So, John Pullum, are you still here? I'm wondering if you're still watching. John was mowing the lawn last week while he was watching, or trying to mow the lawn, or I don't remember. Was that Friday? I don't even remember. Okay, let me see here. Okay, I'm looking for another question. I saw another question. Do you guys have, by the way, if you have questions, ask me questions about whatever you want. I was gonna look at, I saw something really interesting from Facebook. They announced a little thing they're testing today. It doesn't really affect us as publishers, but it just, as the users, I thought it was really interesting. So, okay. I'm scrolling down in the comments. I'm sorry, you guys. Interesting. Okay, so let me see here. Cynthia says, you had the ring light faced away from you. Will you do the same with the Elgato or no? I won't do the same with this Elgato Keylight Air, because the Keylight Air is already built to be a soft light, to create a softer hue of light. So the ring light, the reason I turned it was to actually make it reflect off the wall, which creates a softer light. I learned this trick a couple weeks ago, and I changed it. So I will not need to do that with the Keylight or the Keylight Air, Elgato Keylight Air, because it's actually already made to be that soft style of light, very much like a big softbox would be, like one of those huge softbox things that we see like in old school photography. Well, not old school, they still use them, but definitely, one of those things. So I mean, you can play around with the settings on it too. So like if it was, you could use it that way if you wanted to. So let's say you were facing a big wall and you wanted to only use one light, but you wanted to go ahead and get it a cast really wide. You could turn this Keylight Air around and turn it way up, and it would reflect off the wall and it would create a big cast. That's one of those like lighting tricks that a lot of people do. The other thing a lot of people will do is they will actually point a light at the ceiling, and then it creates it coming down towards you this way. So there's a lot of tricks you can do with lights when it comes to reflecting. When you do the reflecting, you need to have a lot of lumens, so it needs to be a bright light. This bad boy, I mean, I literally have this thing on a very low setting. We could also see what it looks like when I turn off my ring light. We could play around with that here in just a second, so for sure. So Kiss My Stained Glass says, StreamYard isn't worth the money. You don't get a lot for your buck. Plus, visually, it looks the same as the 20 hours free. That's actually incorrect. I mean, it is incorrect as far as looking the same, because the free account, the free person, or the free version looks like this. Hi. That logo is going to be there all the time. It's a watermark. So that's there all the time. And you obviously don't get all the features. So you have to decide. I always tell people the free version's great, but you are going to be maxed out at 720. And it actually, factually looks different when it streams at 1080 on YouTube. So that is really an incorrect statement when you say that it looks the same. It doesn't look the same for many reasons. But Hey, everyone's entitled to their opinion. And as I always say, some people don't need the features. And if you don't need the features, you should use the free version and have that up there. Who cares? Not everybody cares. If your audience doesn't care and you don't care, then yeah, I wouldn't spend the money. You have to value all this stuff yourself. And obviously, Kiss My Stained Glass doesn't find it to be worth their money, which is totally fine. Completely fine, right? So you obviously don't need those features or the 1080p, which is fine. Like seriously, I always say that. Let's see. I feel like I saw. Yes, that is what it stands for. OBS stands for Open Broadcasting System. That is correct. All right, I see some more questions. Let me see. Yeah, Sammy probably knows. Let's ask Sammy. He might know. Well, thank you, Nika. I like running around and dancing. It's actually a lot of fun. So it gets me warmed up. Today I was actually setting up the light. So normally I like do a full like straight on dance party, right? Let me see here. Right. Perfect. Exactly. Perfect follow-up statement. It's not going to be like I didn't pay for the professional plan at first at all. And everyone should figure that out, whatever works for you. So, Haley, what's going on, sister? All right. Haley says, how do these lights work with glasses? I'm currently using umbrella lights, which work well with my glasses and glare. Okay, so when it comes to glasses, this is a really good question, and it comes up a lot because a lot of people wear glasses. For example, these are sunglasses, and they're reflective sunglasses. So these are going to reflect, they're like mirror kind of. They're way, way, way more than like regular glasses. But what you see in this right now is my computer screen. So the computer screen is a factor, right? But look, based on the position where I have my Keylight Air, it is absolutely showing up. Now look at the other one. Once I turned my ring light around, you don't really see it so much. Now, Grant, I wish I had my actual glasses. I could run up and go get them. I could do that. Why don't I go get my actual glasses and we're going to have a real conversation. Hold please. I will be right back. How about I turn up some music for you? Be right back. Oh, it's muted. No wonder. Hold on. Let me just do this one. Again, if you don't pay for StreamYard, you wouldn't get to do this fun thing, right? Okay, I'm back. See? That's one of those fun things you can do with StreamYard. Okay. I ran up the stairs and I got my real glasses. So, very different than the sunglasses, right? But again, if we look up, when I look up, you can see the Keylight Air, okay? Now, you can also see the reflection from my screens. There's a reason for that. That's because I have huge screens in there right in front of me, right? Okay, so, but what you don't see so much now in this one is my ring light. Now, when I had the ring light flipped around, you could see that in my glasses big time. Now, you really don't see it. So, I mean, literally, I'm looking at my ring light and you don't see it at all. What we see right now is the key light. So what I would say, Haley, if I wanted to mess with this, I would probably adjust it. So, I don't have enough cable. Dang it. Okay, so here's a problem. So the cable from the key light is literally maxed out right now. But what I would do is I would actually take this light, I would move it over here, probably over here, and I'd angle it this way. So the best way to avoid the glare is to have your lights not right in front of you, because this right now the key light is basically right in front of me. But I'm going to be adjusting it. When I get my second one, I'll probably move it over more, and then I'll have the other one over here more as well. And so I would have my key light or these lights out here, which then they kind of come this way, and because they're flanked, they're going to light both my full face, but they won't be in the reflection. The other thing is having the lights up higher. As you can see, when I'm looking down a little bit, and I tilt down, they're not in it. It's when I look up at the light. So if I look at you in the camera, the most annoying thing you see right now is the actual reflection of my screen. But what I did just now is I moved the reflection. I moved it over. Now, one thing that StreamYard is going to be coming out with is dark mode. So a lot of times the problem with when this reflection from our screens, it's because the applications we're using while we're, looking and producing is they're bright. Right now, StreamYard is bright, but they have been doing testing with the dark mode. And I don't think I have it yet. I'm looking actually, because you never know. No, I don't think I have dark mode just yet, but I know they are playing around with it. They are working on it. Once they create dark mode, it won't be so bright because what you see right in here is the actual StreamYard screen. So again, if I minimize my StreamYard screen, what you don't see that same reflection anymore. It's not nearly as bright. And so that also plays a factor. So your lights right now, the big umbrella lights, those are going to work great, probably because of where you have them positioned. And so you would want to use the same strategy if you wanted to go with these minimal. What's nice about these lights is they're really small. I mean, this light is literally like this big. It is really, really not very big at all. I mean, it's basically the size of not even a full size of my head. I mean, it's like really a square. So that's actually really nice because those umbrella lights, they do take up a lot of space and you probably have to mount them on the floor and whatnot. But that's a great question. The other thing that some people do is they will do this with their glasses. They will literally tilt them up. But I don't find that to be very comfortable personally. But I know that a lot of people, that is one of the things they do. But the reason why that's working is because we're changing the angle. You can achieve the same thing if you change the angle of your stuff. So there is that as well. So great question about the lights. Okay. Whoa, didn't mean to do that. All right, let me see here. Nika says, I'm trying to figure out what I can use to plug in my mic and speakers along with some HDMI cables. Total newbie. Would this be a switcher or an encoder? Are they the same thing? Okay, a microphone and speakers and HDMI cables with some HDMI cables. Well, it depends on what you're trying to achieve, Nika. So if it's because your computer doesn't have enough ports, that's different. That's a different thing than, I'm not sure. Okay, hold on, I think. Really what you need is a, let me see if I have one. You need something like this. So what this is it gives me 4 more inputs. Hold on. Get focused. This right here is basically an additional port. Honestly, like I know what these are, it's eluding me. I can't even think of what these are called. This, if you have this one USB, you plug it into the one USB and now you have 4 more ports from this. That sounds like that would be what you need, except for the HDMI. So the HDMI aspect is for computers. When you're using a HDMI, you would need a special capture card. So it's really just a different way to capture the ports. But Nika, it depends on what you're trying to achieve with that. Nika, if you're in our DIY group, I would definitely love for you to come join us over there and ask this question in the group, and maybe with a little bit more detail, because then I can actually spend a little bit more time getting a little bit more of a custom answer based on your unique situation. So come join us over on Facebook. It's called DIY Marketing with Melanie. Just search for it. You'll find it. And if I can't answer it, I bet somebody else in there can. We have lots of tech people in there. Speaking of lots of tech people, I will tell you that next week, I'm going to have James Hicks on the show. So James Hicks has been here. If you guys have been hanging out with us, you've seen him in the comments. He tends to join us sometimes when I'm live. And he is with Hicks Media. That's his own company. He's going to be joining us. He's a tech guy, big time tech person, huge with sound. In fact, I was asking for his advice, and I was saying, do you think I should get the Keylight Air lights? And he said, I think you'll love them. And now that I have the Stream Deck, he was like, you can use them with the Stream Deck. You'll love it. And I said, should I get 1 or should I get 2? He's like, you should get 2. So he and I were kind of geeking out about that. And so I am pretty excited. I just realized I have my headphones on still. I'm not playing music in the speakers, so I don't need my headphones in today. But I am going to have him on the show next week, and we're going to geek out a bit, but we're also going to talk about a concept called Buy Me a Coffee. It's a website where you can use it to monetize your content in your streams. So definitely going to be pulling him in. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, okay, let me see. I'm checking in on you guys. Cynthia with Purgatory Paranormal of New York. She's like, it's a whole different story when you wear glasses. Cynthia wears glasses. I know that I've noticed that before. And you have to be, you don't have the same luxury, when you wear glasses, I mean, you have to take into consideration what's going to be showing on them. And that's definitely one of those things. Sammy Superstar, who is awesome, by the way, is here. He says he confirmed earlier that OBS does work with Mac, by the way. He says he used to use OBS on a Mac before Ecamm and vMix. That was 5 years ago. But he says Ecamm, if you're a Mac, would be much better than OBS. Yeah, I think that Ecamm is a great streaming platform. You are going to have to pay for it. It's not free. So if you need a free resource, then OBS is your way to go. But Ecamm is definitely going to do more for you. It does similar things that StreamYard does, and it's great. So if you're a Mac user, but it's only on Mac, that's one of those things. Billy in the house. What? He says, does the lava lamp need its own lighting source? It plugs into the wall. I mean, it just plugs into the wall. That thing's so easy. It's very simple. By the way, did you guys notice? I noticed earlier today I was on a Zoom call. Do you see the added accessory? Do you see this thing? Addison put this over here. So she doesn't even use this controller. She doesn't like it. She plays Roblox. For any of you that have kids, you probably know what I'm talking about. She doesn't like using Roblox. She likes using the mouse and the keyboard and the touchscreen. And when she plays Roblox, over there, she plays over on that computer over there. That's her little station. But she wanted this. She bought this with her own money. And I was like, Addison, do you know how, that thing's expensive. It's for mounting a phone. She's like, well, now I can have my phone on there when I'm FaceTiming with my friends and we're playing Roblox. I was like, okay. But it's actually, I think really what it's for is this. It's to hold your game controller. The controller that she doesn't even use. But the funny thing is the other day, I don't know when she did it, but she must have put this thing over here just the other day because I noticed it this morning when I was on a Zoom call. So there you go. Grogu right there. Also known as Baby Yoda, but his name's Grogu. We learned that in the Mandalorian. Any of you Mandalorian fans, you know what that is. So there you go. That's one of those accessories that I didn't even know was happening. Back to the lighting. This is good. Haley says, I usually turn down the brightness of my screens to not reflect so much of my glasses. That is definitely another thing you can do. You can turn that brightness down on your monitors. I know that a lot of people with glasses do that. Cynthia says, lights up higher give you shadows from your eyeglass frames. The struggle is real. That's a great point. So if you put those lights up higher, you may have a little shadow underneath where your glasses. You just have to play around with lots of different things. I know that this is definitely one of those challenges for sure. So, I don't know. I signed up to beta test a Surface. We will see. Okay, cool. Let me see here. Scrolling on down. I think that I was a little bit skeptical, to be honest with you, Haley, about these Elgato Keylights. I wasn't sure if it was going to be strong enough, but oh my gosh. I'm seriously, like, the fact that this thing, let me go back to it. I have this thing on like the lowest freaking setting. Where'd it go? Oh, I moved it. Like, I have it on, I'm guessing it's on 5%. I feel like it's on 5 or 10%. And I'm going to go up more. That thing is, now it's, 32%. It's on, that's like 14% right there. So if you imagine if I get two of these things, oh my gosh. Again, I could do the reflective thing. So that would be my number one recommendation for anyone that has the glasses. Yes, thank you guys. USB hub. Back to what we were talking about. The glasses is try that reflective measure. I'm telling you, like, if you get this Keylight Air and you turn it around, you're not going to have the same issue. You're not going to have that craziness. John Pullum, you wear glasses. What do you do? Because you don't have a reflection in your glasses. I'd love to know what you're doing. He's back, by the way. He is back. Okay. Literally, I would like to know what John does. Yeah, I know. Sammy, do you have the Keylight? I'm curious if you have the Keylight. I know that you have more of a dark style scene. But I'd be curious what you have. John confirms. He says he turns the light around. So yeah, if I were to turn this around, let's just try it. Why don't we do that? I'm going to turn my ring light off actually, because I really want to see. Let me see this. Let me check it out. All right, it's gonna be dark and mysterious because my I just turned the ring light off. Okay, let me get this towards me. So we're gonna just kind of do a little test here. We're gonna open up. So we have our Keylight Air on, just one light. So it's not gonna be as even. It's gonna be coming more on this side of my face, which some people like that effect. A lot of people actually, that's what they want. So we're gonna just bump this up. I like how it's not totally lighting up all of this. One of the things I ran into with my ring light is that it was just totally, every time I bumped it up, it would wash all this out. It's not doing that, which is actually pretty cool. So changing the temperature. This is on the coolest setting, and now I'm bumping up, going a little warmer. It actually will get really warm, which I would, if I wanted the light to be warm, I would need to accommodate with my camera. Now, the warmer hue is actually going to be beneficial when we are using a webcam. So the webcams tend to need warmer light. So here we are. Sammy's using a panel light. Very cool. Okay. All right. So that's one light right now. That is just the Keylight Air right there, and it is right at me. It's up here. I probably would move it and do it a little differently. That's actually really funny. So this is another trick, but this only works if you don't need your glasses to read. A lot of people will just wear they will wear frames. They actually will not wear the full glasses. So that's really interesting. I love it. Okay. John says he turned it around. Yeah, I turned it around because Ron Clifford, when I was on the show with Luria, Ron Clifford was, it was Ron Clifford, it was multiple of them, and they were talking about how that's what they do. Now, one thing I'm noticing is some harshness, right? So we're seeing a little bit of harshness in here in these areas. So again, the second light, yeah, hot spots, exactly. We've got hot spots. I got a hot spot here. Yeah, I could totally make some adjustments here. I'm really curious what's going to happen when I turn it around, though. That's the next trick I want to try. I seriously want to try it out. So let me hold on. Let's try this out. I'm going to flip it around, and we're going to change the settings on it. So bear with me. We're going to do this. This is going to be fun. Okay, now I moved it, I turned it around, and I angled it up. So I had to change it. I had to change a couple things. Okay, now to open this back, we're at 28% right now. See what happens. Okay, that's at 100%. So it helped, but it didn't. Oh wait, it definitely helped, but it's not. Now it could be where I have it. Which is, so you can see now, so I have it angled up. Now it's helping, but it would probably be better if I moved it over here because of the way that my ceiling is shaped, and there's a little bump out right there, and it would, like this thing that you see here, all that goes across there. And so I would get more reflection. So it really doesn't have enough light to do to flip it around, at least for me in my setup right now. But I could scooch it over, and we could see what happens there. I'm just reading all your comments. Okay. John says, since I'm bald, when the ring light is facing me, I look like I have a light up circle on my head. Yeah, you definitely get a hot spot, right? Let's all leave. That would be so mean. Okay, hold on. We can't see it with the back camera. Yeah, I know. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try Haley's. She says, how about the key light lower and bump it up so you don't get hot spots? Lower the key light and bump up the brightness. Won't the brightness make me do the hot spot thing? Hold on. Okay, here we go. I'm I'm actually just kind of curious to see what this looks like because look at that. Isn't that crazy? Okay. I'm just curious. We're playing around. We're playing around. Okay, I went back to ring light, reflecting, and hot air light or Keylight Air back on. Okay. Here's the thing. That thing doesn't go any lower. That doesn't go any lower than it is. So, and I don't have it angled down right now either. I'm actually watching back here and seeing how it changes everything back there. Yeah, I'm actually excited to get the other Keylight Air and just have them out and on. What I'm not loving is this right now. That's what I'm not loving. I do love that I can control it right here instead of having to run around the back and do all that crazy stuff. That's pretty nice. Oh man, we're gonna have to play around with it. Gonna have to play around with it a lot. That's one of those things. Do you guys have any questions? I'm probably distracting you because we're playing around with my lights. So you didn't think it looked bad. Okay. Interesting. I'll have to check it out. Seriously. We need a Baby Yoda intro. Billy, did you miss that part? Did you miss it? I know. Or do you want him in my intro? Is that what you're saying? Grogu. Okay. So here's something interesting I just, read today. Let me check. Let me pull it up. So today, I saw on social media today, they came out and said that they are, oh man, I didn't want it to open up in the same, hold on, let me open this up in a different, oh my gosh, get your stuff together. Open up a new window. There we go. There we go. Okay. What is happening right now? Let's try this again. Sometimes things just don't go the way you want them to. I was talking to a friend about that this morning. She was like, oh my gosh, I was all over the place. I just couldn't, nothing would work right. I was like, how it happens. Okay, here we go. So this is really interesting. So, oh, Dawn, I'm so glad you actually reposted your question because I'm so sorry. I saw it come through and then I forgot. I'll answer that here in a sec. So, Facebook tests new warning prompt to stop users sharing articles they haven't read. I'm kind of in love with this. I'm really kind of in love with this. You know why? Because I absolutely can't stand it because I feel like people share headlines. They don't read articles. They just share those clickbaity headlines and then somebody else sees the headline and they don't read the article and they share it too. And that's how false news gets shared. That's how assumptions get made. It drives me crazy. And I love that it's like you're about to share this article without opening it. Sharing articles without reading them may mean missing key facts. I actually am in love with this. I think this is fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and say that I think this is a great thing. What do you guys think about that? I mean, honestly, I would be curious to know. I'm going to post a link to this article in the comments right now. You can check it out. But I found this to be, I personally like this. And I mean, I would like to see more of this kind of stuff, like literally, because I think that it does drive me crazy. I feel like so many people are sharing content that they just aren't even consuming. They don't know what they're even sharing. So yeah. So John says, it really ticks me off when people share a missing child post. They don't click on it to read that they were found alive or dead months or years before. They don't even click and read it. They don't care. Honestly, this is disturbing when I see this too. I have seen this where it usually happens when something kind of comes back around and then people just see it. So they just start sharing. They're like, oh, this person. But then if you keep digging deeper, sometimes it is really unfortunate that child was actually found and they were not found alive. And now you're recirculating old news or recirculating something that just is unfortunately pulling up, wounds for people. So I agree. That is unfortunate. Okay. Don has a great question. He says, the time you use in OBS, is that an OBS feature or an add-on? Enjoy your sharing. Repeat. Yes. Thanks for reposting that question. I missed it earlier. So basically how I'm doing this is, Don, I am actually using OBS and I'm using different scenes. And one of the scenes I'm using is an actual countdown video. So it's actually media that I have on my computer. And so I have a scene that is, countdown, 10-minute countdown. Okay. What this is right here is right here, it's a 10-minute countdown. Okay. And that is a timer that I designed and made in Canva. And so that's what that is. Just like the start screen, this is a GIF that I designed in Canva. And so GIFs will just recycle. They just continuously recycle. And if you watch, you'll see the glitch. See, there it went. So you'll see the little glitch where the GIF starts over. Here it comes. Ready? Wait for it. Right there. So it just glitched. So that's one of the things that happens when you use a GIF. Now, what this is this is just media on my computer. So if I go to starting soon GIF right here, and you see this little file path, I can change that to whatever I want. I don't even have to reconfigure any of this. I'm basically just saying point to this file path, and that's what this file is. That is the same with the countdown timer. I'm using a countdown timer, and I can change the source of that countdown timer if I want. And so that's actually really cool too. So if I wanted to redesign it, I don't have to reconfigure the scene. I just have to point to a different file. But this is now, so one of the things that Chad helped me with, my previous guest a couple weeks ago, or last week, is afterwards we figured out how to make this transparent. And so this is actually transparent, which is why it doesn't look very bright. So then when I go over to we made a new countdown scene. Which one is it? This one. If I click here, now you see me again. So what we did is if you look in this list in my sources, this 10-minute countdown is actually that same scene I just showed you. We just put it on top of me. And so when this countdown's over, then I just go to this other scene that doesn't include the countdown. So that's how I'm doing that. So it's not a feature inside of OBS. I'm just using the OBS features to arrange media files. And I now have it configured in my Stream Deck where I just push buttons and it changes scenes. So if I click on this button on my Stream Deck that says start screen, then you'll see the start screen. And then when I'm ready to start the countdown, I click on the button that I configured that says dance party, 10 minutes. And it goes to that scene I just showed you. And then when that's over, I turn the music down and I go to the other scene that doesn't include that countdown timer. So that's how I did all that. And so that's what you're seeing. That's what you're looking at right now. Yeah, so hopefully that was helpful. So yeah, if you guys missed that show last week with Chad, poor Chad was losing his voice and he wasn't feeling the greatest, but we talked about OBS, which is what I'm using, which this is what you see on screen right now. I'm using OBS to control what StreamYard's pulling into my webcam feed. So instead of just saying, hey, use my webcam, I'm actually using OBS as a virtual webcam. And that's what you see. Everything that you see in this window is what you'll see over in this little window over here. Me. Hi. So that's what we're doing. And that's one of the really cool things. That's one of those examples of like duct taping two applications together. So StreamYard's great, but if you want to add a little bit more customization, then you can use OBS to customize some things. Now, if you want to learn about playing music and using an application like StreamYard, then I want you to tune in to StreamYard's show tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern time. I'm going to actually be answering a question, which is, how can you play music or sounds during your stream with StreamYard? Here's the short answer is you can't do it with just StreamYard. Well, you can. We're going to talk about that version as well tomorrow. But I'm going to go through a couple of different methods that you can try to play music in your show, just like I do when I play my stuff. Like I'll turn up my music right now. Right? So you got a little music playing, and now I can turn it back down. But I'm using some sophisticated tools. I'm going to talk about the simplest way, And then I'm going to talk about some other ways with other applications and even some hardware so that you can learn about playing music during your streams. John Pullum, I know that you play music during your streams as well. There's a lot of people that do it. And so StreamYard gets asked this question all the time. And so we're answering that question on the new show. It's called Ask StreamYard. And that's I think we're 5 weeks in now. And so I'm tackling this question tomorrow. So 11 o'clock Eastern time, go check it out on StreamYard's channels. We're going to do that. So Sammy has a question about my mic. How do you like the Wave 3 mic? I love it. I actually think it's fantastic. I have a lot of people who, it's funny because, Doc Rock, we love our Sean Boyd, our Doc Rock, who told me he's a big fan of this guy, the Pod mic. This is an XLR microphone. But the funny thing is about this microphone is the plosives are really bad on it. And so, this isn't even like the right one that goes on here, but the plosives are really bad on this thing, which I'm not in love with. Sammy, you've got the Shure microphone, I think, which is the awesome mic. But the plosives on this Elgato Wave 3, it has such a good internal pop filter. I mean, plosives, please bring pizza, Peter Piper. The plosives are not bad. If you were to hear me say the same thing on that microphone right there, they're really bad. I have every type of mic. I actually have a lot of mics too, Sammy. It's kind of a bad thing. I have a Yeti. I got a Nano. I got the Elgato Wave 3. I got the Pod mic. It's a mess, man. It's a mess. Don Moody, I got the XL. I got the extra large. That is the Stream Deck that I got. So I got the extra large, which I'm very, very happy about because I'm able to control. I'm able to just. It's funny because when Gloria Petrucci used to always say, "Don't get the small one," I was like, "Oh, he's 30 mics." I was like, "Oh, I don't know if I would need the small. Or I don't know if I would need anything else." I'm so glad I got the bigger one because, like, for example, when I'm streaming, I can control all those audio functions with the Wavelink software that came with my Wave 3 microphone. I'll be able to add a lighting panel where I can change the lighting with these Elgato lights and stuff. So I like it because you can control lots of different things on that extra large screen versus having to toggle between screens. So I think it's fantastic. I'm really glad I spent the extra money on the XL. So that's the one I got. I really love it. I'm excited about it. Sammy has 30 microphones. Yeah, that's a lot of mic. That's a lot of mics, like big time. The most expensive one I have is $1,000. Wowzers. Sammy, you actually have lots of fun stuff. I love you guys. Sammy Superstar, go check his channel out. It's actually pretty cool. He loves his Mac, and he's been having guests on his show lately, which has been really great. In fact, John, you were on his show not that long ago. John is on Subpellucid tonight. So Subpellucid, that's the show that's Chad's show. John's on his show tonight. So that'll be fun. You have to check that out. Does anybody else have any other questions for me? You guys have any questions? You guys, again, I want to say next week, I definitely want you guys to join us because seriously, I cannot wait to have James Hicks on here. It's going to be awesome. We're going to talk about that microphone. We're going to talk about some other stuff. He is fantastic. Hicks Media. I'm just excited. And also, I'm excited for you to hear his voice. He has the most soothing voice. It's fantastic. I'm not sure what I'm more excited about. Having James on the show finally or his voice. I mean, I'm not going to lie. So, so Sammy has a music studio. Fantastic. That's really fun. I didn't know you had a music studio. That's really cool. So the other thing I wanted to say is that my friend Christian and I actually released, he's got a podcast called Launch Your Live. And I have recently started helping him with that podcast. And so our first episode that we did together actually released yesterday. So Launch Your Live, I think, oh my God, I was going to have a link ready and I totally didn't have it. I think it is, I'm getting there. Hold on. It's called Launch Your Live and you can find it on, hold on a second. I'm getting there. There's a Facebook, there's a channel, there's other stuff. I should have had this ready. Launch. That's not it. See, this is why you're supposed to be prepared. I didn't prepare today. You know why I didn't prepare today? You know why? Because I was on my way back from Indianapolis getting this dang light that we were setting up earlier. All right, let me just pull up the Facebook page. We'll start there. And then now we'll pull it together. There it is. Website. That's a weird website. I'm not even gonna pull that up. Did you say lunch or lunch or launch? Both. I'm starving. That's the other problem right now. Is that okay? So here is giveaway tools. That's what we did. There is the link. So go check this out. So we actually talked about running giveaways. I don't know if you guys saw where I talked about. Well, hello there. How's it going? The other day, I pulled up the giveaway tool that StreamYard released. And so everyone's been geeking out on this giveaway tool. And so that tool is featured in this episode that we did, but we also talked about some other ways you could do a giveaway. And then we just recorded another episode that'll release here in a couple weeks about ideas about what you can give away. So go check that out. Launch Your Live podcast with Christian that we did. We talked about that, and I will be on that show a lot more. So it's going to be great. John's going to use the giveaway tool again tonight. Don't forget, don't have a space. No spaces. You can't have the space in there when you do that. So what's the other thing I was going to say? It's called, I'm on another show tomorrow that I wanted to tell you guys about. I should have had all this stuff like all ready to go. It's ridiculous. I'm a mess right now. I made a last minute decision to drive an hour to go pick up the lights, and then it like put me all behind on stuff. Tinkering with Tech is an awesome show that it's Michael Daniels and Heather. I forget her last name. Craycraft. And they have a cool show called Tinkering with Tech. That's his place. Hold on. So if you go to Michael's show, I'll be on the show tomorrow. And I have no idea what we're going to be talking about, but I'm pretty excited to go live with them and talk about it. So we're going to just kind of geek out. But it's called Tinkering with Tech. That's another one you can check out where we'll be kind of having some. John, you were on that show, weren't you? Before? I feel like John's been on every show, you guys. He's been on all of them. All of them. I thought I had another question, but I didn't. Okay, fantastic. You guys, I am so sorry that I was a little bit all over the place, but we were playing with this light, and I'm going to dial this in a little bit more. I'm not in love again. I gotta figure it out. I got to make sure I fix it all. I got to play around. I got to take some time with that. That's what happens. James, I was just talking about you. On the show next week. So there you go. See, I knew it. John, you were on Tech Talk. I thought so. Oh, you were on StreamYard's Tech Talk. That's what I'm thinking of. Okay. All right. But James, I got the light, but here's the problem. I went and they only had one. I was there the other day. They had like 3 or 4. Today I go, they had one. So I have one of these things. But I haven't even dialed it in yet. I literally plugged it in while we were on my countdown. And so I'm going to be dialing that light in. But James is on the show next week, you guys. So come check us out next Tuesday. We're going to be talking about Buy Me a Coffee, but we're also just going to geek out about some other stuff. I'm just going to let James, we're just going to geek out. We're going to talk about audio. We're going to talk about, I don't know, microphones, this thing that I still need to get dialed into the way I want. That thing right there on that awful boom arm that I have. So yeah. So, all right. I have to run. You guys are probably sick of me talking. Good God. We're ending this one while we're ahead. You guys, I'll see you guys next week. Tuesday, 2:00. Again, tomorrow's StreamYard. I'm answering the question about playing music and all the fun stuff while you're streaming with StreamYard on Ask StreamYard show tomorrow, which is on all their channels, YouTube, Facebook group, wherever. And then tomorrow night, I'm on the Tinkering with Tech show with Michael and Heather. So if you haven't gotten enough of me, then I guess you can come hang out with me over there. I'd love to see some familiar faces. I'd appreciate your support. Come ask some fun questions. Let's have some fun. And then next week, don't forget, James Hicks will be on the show from Hicks Media, where we're going to chat and have a lot of fun. We're going to geek out. So we will see you guys next Tuesday at 2:00 Eastern.